Three-party talks are underway in this city right now, here in the Russian capital, as the foreign ministers of Russia, Syria and Iran try to relaunch the political process in Syria. Let's get more details on that. We'll cross live now to RT correspondent Nikki Aaron. Nikki, do tell us more. There should be, well, a lot of expectations for the meeting today.
Absolutely, very high expectations. The foreign ministers of three sides, as you said, Russia, Iran and Syria, will meet today here in Moscow. As we speak, the Iranian foreign minister Zarif and the Russian foreign minister Lavrov are holding talks, and later today the Syrian foreign minister will also join them. Now, the Russian foreign ministry earlier this week said that the parties will focus mainly on the situation in Aleppo, adding that the talks will also discuss efforts by the Russian and Syrian military in continuing the fight against terror groups, the Islamic State and Jabhat al-Nusra. Now, at the start of the talks today, the Russian foreign minister said that the meeting would be a chance to discuss all aspects of the situation in Syria very closely, and that's including the humanitarian issue there and also the relaunch of the negotiation process. Now, these talks come, of course, just weeks after the U.S. severed ties with Russia, and the U.S. Secretary of State has in the past singled out Russia as potentially part of the problem in Syria.
A year ago, we, the United States, brought together a group of stakeholders, the International Syria Support Group. It includes every single country that is involved in the conflict, including Russia and Iran. And some people say, well, why are you sitting at the table with those guys? Because they're involved. Because without them being part of the solution, they are part of the problem.
Now, Russia and Iran, however, who are both key financial and military supporters of the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, have emphasized the risk of creating a very dangerous power vacuum if Assad is removed from power.
Either you have Bashar Assad in Damascus or the al-Nusra front. There is currently no third option, and in order to seek a political solution, Assad needs to be in Damascus.
Now, these trilateral talks today come, of course, as Russia faces being voted off the UN Human Rights Council, as you mentioned earlier. And it seems to be something that Russia is placing on the back burner as it prioritizes the situation in Syria once again.
All right, RT's Nikki Aaron there. Thank you. All right, more news after the break.